So our experiment 2 for introduction to electronics lab is about VI characteristics of PN junction diode and drawing equivalent circuit model. So aim of this experiment is to sketch the VI characteristics of PN junction diode and Zener diode and finding its knee voltage, calculating the static and dynamic resistance in both forward and reverse bias condition, and also drawing the diode equivalent model. So the instrument required in this experiments are resistor of 1 kilo ohm for forward bias case and 10 kilo ohm for reverse bias case, a diode of specific ratings, and the voltage source of 5 volt for forward bias and 10 volt for reverse bias. We are using DC source here. For the I have written theory about how what is PN junction diode. So PN junction is basically formed by joining the P-type semiconductor and the N-type semiconductor. P-type semiconductor is basically having silicon with the impurity of trivalent elements, and N-type is silicon with the impurity of pentavalent elements, and N-type has abundant electrons and P-type have abundant holes. So in the PN junction diode, basically charge transfer takes place through the mechanism, and which led to the current flow of current. So how does the charge transfer take place? As we know, the p type has abundant holes, so the holes move from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Similarly, N type have electrons. These also move from higher concentration to lower concentration, which creates a current. This current is known as diffusion current. So as diffusion, as the current flows, as charges moves, the bound charges becomes uncovered, and it start to settle near the junction. So a depletion region forms. Basically an electric field sets up in the depletion in the this junction, near the junction, and which acts as a barrier. And and this electric field causes the minority, like the electrons in the p type, to flow in this direction, electrons to flow in this direction, and the holes in this n type float in opposite direction, so which creates a current. This current is known as the drift current, and its value is typically very less. So which is it is I have written over it. Due to diffusion, some positive and negative charges become uncovered, which forms a carrier depletion region. This region causes an electric field. The voltage drop across it acts as a barrier. So now I have written how the junctions are connected in a circuit. So there are three possible biasing conditions. First is the zero bias, in which where no voltage is applied. In that case, the diode remains PN junction diode remains in a dynamic equilibrium, where the drift current and the diffusion currents are equal in amount, and so they remain in the equilibrium. Here I have derived an expression for the that terminal voltage, the barrier voltage here. So barrier voltage is Vt log, this is the concentration Na/Nd by Ni square, where Vt is thermal voltage, Na/Nd are doping concentration, and Ni are the concentration of the carriers. So for zero biased, we all know that it will remain as a barrier voltage, and for forward biased, we will further look how the depletion region's width become less. So the barrier voltage is V0 minus V, and for the reverse bias case, as the width will increase, so it's V0 plus V. So now for the forward bias case, an external voltage source is connected, makes P more positive than N. So what happens in the forward bias is that the barrier voltage gets reduced, so the width of the depletion region gets reduced, and so the amount of diffusion current flowing becomes increases. So, and the drift current, it almost after some point it remains unchanged. So what happens is that we can look as look from the IV characteristics. As we will increase the voltage, there we will achieve an voltage, after which the diode becomes conducting, and after that the small increase in the voltage will dramatically increase the current from a very large amount. This point is basically known as knee voltage, which is I have written over here. The point at which the sudden increase in the current takes place is known as the knee voltage or cut-in voltage. So once the diode is conducting, the voltage drop across it remains approximately the barrier potential. So after crossing the knee voltage, the voltage across the diode remains almost equal to the barrier voltage. It doesn't change much. So this barrier voltage is 0.3 volt for germanium and 0.7 volt for silicon. And the current flowing is the diffusion current, and it is in order of milliampere. We'll look at it, and we can define two terms here, calculate two terms here. Static resistance is the voltage across the diode divided by the current across the diode. And here the higher the current through the diode, the lower the DC resistance level. And another term is the dynamic resistance. Dynamic resistance is the change in the voltage across the diode by change in the current across it. It is basically calculated at the operating point. This it is the slope at the operating point, we can say. And we can see for the lower value of current, or for the lesser value of voltage, we will get a high dynamic resistance. But for the higher value of voltage, or at a higher value of current, we will get less dynamic resistance, because the diode becomes conducting, which is I have written over here. And from this diagram we can see that for forward bias, for zero bias, it remains normal, and for the forward bias, notice here the depletion region width become very less, and the amount of the diffusion current becomes very large. And for the reverse bias case, the depletion region width becomes very large and almost zero current flows. It is acts as an open circuit. So for a reverse bias, the width increases, and the width of the depletion region increases, which causes a huge electric field, which sets up a huge electric field which opposes the flow of ID, that is current, and due to which the very less amount of current flows through it. In fact, but the amount of current that flows at the reverse bias condition is basically known as the leakage current, and it is almost constant. And this leakage current, or you can call it as saturation current, is a strong temperature dependent. It depends only on the temperature. So I have here derived the equation for the diode, current equation for the diode. This is current density for the P, and then current density for the N, and by a little bit of algebra, I have this equation comes. This is known as Shockley equation, where the current in the diode is Is, that is saturation current, e to the power V by nu Vt minus 1, where this Vt is thermal voltage, this is the ideality factor nu, and Is is the saturation current. So by for calculating the dynamic resistance, I have differentiated it. Then by a little bit of algebra, we calculated the dynamic resistance is dVd by dId, which we know, the change in voltage by change in current, equals to nu Vt by Id. So the ideality factor is basically 1, and Vt at 300 Kelvin is equal to 25.9. So the dynamic resistance formula comes as this. And for the reverse bias case, it's if notice a very less amount of current flows, but as we increase the reverse voltage from a very to a very large amount, then breakdowns occurs. Breakdowns means a very large amount of current flows through the diode, extremely large amount of current flows through the diode, and this result in the crystal breakdown. At the breakdown, large amount of electric field sets up, which breaks the covalent bond, and a huge amount of current flows. So basically I have written over here about the Zener diode. A Zener diode, it's basically blocks the current in the reverse direction, but will suffer from premature breakdown and the damage if the reverse voltage applied across becomes too high. And the Zener diode basically operates in the reverse bias condition. Here the breakdown voltage for Zener diode is comparatively less to the other diodes. And notice as we reach Vz, the breakdowns occurs, and the current increases enormously, and it almost the voltage almost becomes stable and this point is known as this voltage is known as the Zener voltage. And the for procedure, I have simulated this circuit in the LTS Spice software. So there basically we have to select the components and connect it through the wire, and then edit the stimulation command terminal and then stimulate it. This is the basic circuital diagram. And then I have noted down the values here. And this, in the LTS Spice, the circuit will look like this. And these are the observation table. For the note that at the forward bias, look for the less value of the voltage across the diode. The current is almost equal to 0. It's very less. And after it crosses this point 0.485881, the current start to increase and the diode becomes conducting after it. Similarly, we can see that at reverse bias condition, the current flowing through the diode is in order of nanoamperes. It's very less and it's almost constant, equals to minus 2.52. And so these are the some plots. Here we can see that this is the knee voltage from which the diode becomes conducting, and this is for the reverse bias case. Here I am plotted manually, and V knee from here is approximately 0.485 volts. So from the equation, for calculating the static and the dynamic resistance, we calculate it at the operating point, which is this point. This is IV characteristic, and it is the load line, and the point where it intersects is actually the operating point. And this point is this point I found out, and this point is at current equals to 4.347 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere, and voltage equals to 0.6529 volt. And this is the cut-in voltage I have written over here. For the dynamic forward resistance came here is 12 ohm. For the static forward resistance is 150.1955 ohm. For static reverse resistance, this value, it's in order of 10 to the power 9. It's notice it's a huge value. Thus the in the reverse bias case, the circuit acts as on, or diode acts as an open circuit. I have written some of the conclusions over here. Notice the theoretical value is generally supposed to be between the 10 ohm to 80 ohm for the static resistance, forward resistance, and for the dynamic forward resistance 1 ohm to 100 ohm. Experimentally, it is almost equal. It's in the range. Same case for the reverse bias condition, and we notice from the plot that in the reverse bias direction, current saturates at a value of saturation current, that is 2.5 to 10 to the power minus 9 ampere. This current in the diode is also known as the leakage current. Basically, I have explained. And the last point, AC resistance is higher for the lower voltages and or smaller current, and is smaller for the higher voltages. And then I have drawn some the diode equivalent circuit models. Piecewise So I have drawn the diode equivalent circuit models. So it is of three types. We can consider it of three types. This is piecewise linear model, simplified model, and ideal diode model. In the piecewise linear model, we consider the diode to have a terminal voltage and a dynamic resistance. From the IV characteristic we can see, and for the reverse bias condition, the resistance offered is infinite, so no amount of current should flow. And the circuit, the model, the equivalent circuit model can be written over here. VD is the voltage VD is applied, and the ID amount of current flows, and this is the terminal voltage after which the diode becomes conducting, and this is the dynamic resistance, which is basically the slope of this line, and it is the diode. Then in the simplified model, the dynamic resistance is considered to be 0. The diode only have the terminal voltage. So it can be represented over here as this circuit. VD is applied and ID is current is flowing. And for the ideal diode model, both the terminal voltage and the dynamic resistance is supposed to 0, and this is simply the equivalent circuit model. And then I've written some of the I answered some questions and answer. So describe the characteristics of the depletion region. So answer is that it acts as a barrier for the charge from any side, that is from N or P side, to go to the other side. The charge flow and the charge accumulation in this region is opposite of the conventional flow. Any charge having energy greater than the barrier voltage can pass through it. And these are some of the questions. What is the breakdown voltage? The voltage at which the reverse bias condition is increased so much that the covalent bonds between the charges break and an extremely high amount of current flows in the region of in the range of mega ampere. So this was my experiment, lab manual for the experiment. Thank you.